The meeting of Liverpool City Council for the 29th of March officially open. I'd like to remind everyone that in accordance with Council's Code of Meeting Practice, other than the public forum session, this meeting is being live streamed. To start today, I would like to invite Father Paul Monkered from the All Saints Parish Liverpool and St. Therese Parish Sadley and Miller to read the prayer of council as well as offer the acknowledgement of country. Could I please invite everyone to please stand, and I'll be followed by the national anthem. Thank you, Father.
Before we begin proceedings, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and their ancestors past and present. The Kabagul clan of the Daruk nation. I also acknowledge that this land was accessed by peoples of the Dhurawal and Daruk nations. Our affirmation of council. We affirm our hope and dedication to the good government of our city and the well-being of all of Liverpool's residents, no matter their race or creed. Today we affirm our hope for sound decision-making by Council, which will improve the quality of life in our city. We express our expectations and best wishes for Australia, our nation's future, the Mayor, councillors and staff of Council, and all those associated with good government in Liverpool. And our prayer. The author of the biblical letter of St. James writes, I quote, "You must understand this, my friends, let everyone be quick to listen, slow to anger, for your anger does not produce God's righteousness." Almighty God, we gather in a spirit of gratitude for the many gifts in our city, especially our people. May our civic leaders gathered here recognise and encourage the great efforts of so many. May they work together to enable citizens to fulfil their aspirations, develop individual, family and group potentials, and hence contribute to the building up of our communities and city. May they support those who are struggling or new to our area by lessening anxieties wherever possible and providing new or renewed opportunities. Notwithstanding their different perspectives, may they conduct council business in a spirit of mutual respect and shared commitment to the common good. May their service be humble, relevant, generous and honest. May they inspire unity in the diversity of interests in our city by the way they manage diversity among themselves. May they receive encouragement for their efforts and find creative balance between public service, professional demands and personal and family needs. May their efforts enable sustainable benefits for Liverpool and the southwest of Sydney. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours renowned of all souls with boundless plains to share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. And Father, thank you again, once again, for your prayers for us here at Council. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Councillor McNaught, who is attending online today. Could I please have a motion that we accept that move? Councillor Moon, seconded Councillor Green. And discussion? Put all those in favour, against, I declare it carried. We have no apologies, and unfortunately we have one condolence motion. This condolence motion is from Mr. Mohammed Eldana. Tonight we pause to honour the memory of Mr. Mohammed Eldana, who passed away on the 21st of March 2023 after a period of serious illness over the past few months. Mr. Eldana was the founding principal of El Amana College and was instrumental in the establishment of the Bankstown campus in 1998 and the Liverpool campus in 2002. Mr. Eldana was very well liked and very well respected by his colleagues, students, and the parents of El Amana Islamic schools. He was an exceptional educator who made an impact on many lives, dedicating his life to promote high-quality education that integrated Islamic values and principles in Australia. His passing is a great loss not only to El Amana school community, but also to the wider Liverpool community that he served with dedication. Right up until his passing, Mr. Eldana worked tirelessly to ensure students receive a well-rounded education to prepare them for success in their life after schooling. His memory will live on through his enduring legacy of inspiration for future generations of students and educators. On behalf of Liverpool City Council, I humbly express my deepest condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. Our thoughts and prayers are with Mr. Eldana's loved ones and the El Amana Schools community during this difficult time. May he rest in peace. We just have a move that we send out the usual and with a minute of silence. If I could please ask everyone to please stand. Thank you, everybody. Please be seated. Are there any declarations? Oh, sorry. Next item is the confirmation of minutes for the council meeting held on the 1st of March. Moved Deputy Mayor, seconded Councillor Harrell. Any discussion? Put the motion. All those in favour? Against? I declare it carried. The next item is, do we have any declarations of interest?
Yes, Mr Mayor, I have one.
Yes, Councillor.
Question with notice, number 4. It's a
Yep.
non-pecuniary interest, but I'll leave the chamber.
Yep. So non-pecuniary significant or?
It's significant.
It's significant.
I'm chairperson of the Women's Refuge.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, I have one, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Plan 02, non-pecuniary, less than significant. I have a friend who lives in the same road, who I meet occasionally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've also got one, Plan 02. I actually live on that street.
Yep.
So less significant, non-pecuniary.
Yep.
And I'll be staying in the chamber.
Councillor Haggerty?
Yeah, I got a couple. Com 02 and Bus 01. at this stage, but we might get a few more later, given they relate to matters relating to the New South Wales government. I have a less than significant non-pecuniary interest and will leave the chamber.
Mayor, I would like to declare an interest in the same for the same reasons.
So COM02 and which one? Yep, okay. Can we just make sure the appropriate forms are filled out and passed on? Great. Nothing in the public forum. We'll now move on to mayoral minutes, of which there are 3 today. The first one is regarding the Harry Hunt Memorial Bridge. At its meeting on the 31st of August, Council resolved to name the bridge on Kurrajong Road that connects Prestons to Carnes Hill the Harry Hunt Memorial Bridge in commemoration of the late Harry Hunt. It is my great honour to raise this mayoral minute to propose a civic ceremony to officially name the bridge and unveil the plaque. This ceremony is a testament to the deep respect and appreciation that we hold for Harry, who was a pillar of our community. It is time for us to reflect on his selfless service and to honour his memory. The naming of this bridge serves as a fitting tribute to Harry's legacy, and it will stand as a symbol of his unwavering commitment to the people of Liverpool for generations to come. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all those involved in making this bridge naming possible, including the residents, the council staff, and Harry's family and friends. Your efforts have helped us commemorate a great man and ensure that his contribution to our city will never be forgotten. In conclusion, it is my privilege to officially dedicate the Harry Hunt Memorial Bridge on Kurrajong Road, and I invite you all to join me in commemorating this important milestone in our city's history. Thank you. And the recommendation is that Council holds a civic ceremony to celebrate the naming of Harry Hunt Memorial Bridge in memory of the late Harry Hunt, OAM. Move. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Councillor Rhodes. I would say that's moved unanimous. Yeah, lovely. Thank you. The next mayoral minute is regard to the New South Wales state election that was held on Saturday, 25th of March. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Honourable Chris Minns, MP, on being elected as the 47th Premier of New South Wales. Furthermore, I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate my council colleagues, Councillor Nathan Haggerty and Councillor Christian McCallienda, on their successful election to the Parliament of New South Wales in the state seats of Leppington and Liverpool. As I embark on this new journey, I'd like to wish Nathan and Karishma all the very best. I look forward to the great things you accomplish in the years to come. The recommendation is one that Council write to the Honourable Chris Minns, MP, Premier, to congratulate him on being elected as the Premier of New South Wales and express Council's willingness to work with the New South Wales Government to deliver much needed infrastructure and services for our region. 2, write to all newly elected members of New South Wales Parliament who represent electorates within the Liverpool LGA to offer us Council's congratulations and outline the infrastructure and service priorities of the City of Liverpool. That being said, I'll put forward the motion. All those in favour?
Sorry, I have a question. Do we have to declare an interest in that?
No. No.
It's a congratulations.
It's like rates, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. No, it's all good, but I'm sure I'm sure everyone is a bit more relieved since after Saturday. So that's but yeah, well done on your efforts. You know, you both worked tirelessly over the years for us. So well done. The third mayoral minute was regarding the project. As the Mayor of the City of Liverpool, I believe I have an obligation to remind everyone of the importance of respecting one another irrespective of race, religion, gender or creed. We are a diverse community and multicultural community, and at the cornerstone of what makes our social fabric so unique and special is the way we celebrate our differences. It is with great disappointment that I feel compelled to address the comments made by comedian Reuben Kay on Network 10's The Project. Reuben Kay's comments have outraged Christians and Muslims across the world. It is unacceptable to ridicule someone's beliefs and values, especially on national TV. It is critical that as a council organisation, we stand up against hate speech and bigotry and continue to work towards fostering and advocating inclusivity and harmony in our LGA, as we have always done. We must remember that freedom of speech comes with a responsibility to use it wisely and respectfully. It is important to express our views and opinions without resorting to hate speech or insults. We must ensure that our words and actions do not harm others, and that we uphold the values of tolerance, acceptance, and diversity. In conclusion, let us remember that we are all part of a larger community and that we have a responsibility to ensure that everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Let us strive to build bridges between our differences rather than walls and work towards creating a more tolerant and compassionate society. And I'd like to move that Council write to the Australian Communications Media Authority on behalf of residents to condemn the highly offensive and crude religious joke made during a segment on Network 10's The Project on the 28th of February 2023, and Council calls upon ACMA to make a statement regarding Ruben Kay's comments.
Just a request, Mr Mayor.
Yes, Councillor.
Is it possible to defer this to later in the meeting? Because, to be perfectly honest, I have seen the outrage about the comments, but I haven't actually seen what the specific comments are. I've been busy with other matters, but during the meeting I'll do a bit of a Google and look them up and just... I honestly don't know what the joke was. So I'm probably going to end up supporting it, but I just actually want to know what I'm voting in favour of. So...
Yeah, I'll happy to resubmit it shortly after our break if you like,
All right.
but I can tell you you won't be impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll now move on to the agenda. The first item is Plan 01, Draft Rural Strategy on page 52, with the recommendation on page 52. Moved Councillor Harrell, seconded Councillor Green. Any discussion? Put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it unanimous. Next item is Plan 02, 22 Box Road, Casula, page 57, tab 2, recommendation on page 58.
Happy to move that way.
Move Councillor Hall, seconded Councillor Rhodes. Any discussion? I'll put the matter. All those in favour, please raise your hands. Against? Is that unanimous?
Yep.
Unanimous? Any objections? Unanimous? Thank you. Next item is Plan 03,
Happy to move that way.
Kurrajong Road, Prestons, on page 66. Move Councillor Rhodes, seconded Councillor Harrell. Any discussion? No, great. I'll just thank the staff for that and wonderful money received for the government. So look forward to seeing that delivered. Wonderful. I'll put it. All those in favour? Against? Declare it unanimous. Next item is Plan 04.
Happy to move that way with another point.
Yep, Council. Yep. What's the other point you want to add?
I just find that we need to have another point to bring the report back to Council after the public exhibition so that Council has that opportunity to address any of the concerns from the public. We normally do that.
If submissions are received?
If submissions are received.
Huh?
Yes, if submissions are received, so that
Yeah.
we don't miss out on hearing what the public and the
It
constituents...
covers that on page 74. So
74?
Yeah. So if
Done.
there's no submissions, it will just be adopted.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, great. So moved, Councillor Rhodes, seconded. Councillor Harrell, any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Next item is COM 01. Moved, Councillor Moon. Sorry, on page 85. Seconded. Councillor Green, any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare that carried. COM 02, page 92.
Happy to move that way.
Happy to second.
I'm happy to move this motion about the Carnsey Recreation and Community Precinct, page 92.
Seconded.
Seconded to Councillor Rhodes. Great. So everyone for there watching, basically we're saying, thankfully now that we received the $52 million through the West Invest grant last month, we now have money to build the pool, so it's fantastic, and we're building a 50-metre pool rather than a 25-metre pool. So, lovely. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. councillors may be welcome back in. And councillors, just so you know, you have to be in an area where you can't actually hear what we're doing when you walk out. You could have taken the opportunity to watch. So we can put the mayoral minute back up. Oh, good.
Still not enough time though.
Okay, corporate services reports, Corp 01, page 121, investment report.
Move it.
Moved Deputy Mayor, seconded Councillor Hartley. Discussion? Put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Next item is Corp 02, page 132.
Happy to move that way.
Moved Councillor Rhodes, seconded Councillor Green. Any discussion? Put the motion. All those in favour? Against? I declare it carried. Next item is BUS 01, page 135, with the recommendation on page 9.
Happy to move that way.
Moved Councillor Rhodes, seconded Councillor Goodman. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Next item is City Futures, page 146.
Happy to move that way.
Moved Councillor Rhodes, seconded Councillor Moon. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favours? Against? Declare it carried. Next item is CFD 02, page 168. About the banners. Moved Councillor Rhodes, seconded Councillor Moon. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Next item is City Operations, page 179. I'm happy to move that way. Seconded Councillor Rhodes. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Next item is page 182. Opera 02. Moved Councillor Calienda.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Question as
Yep.
well.
Second to Councillor Carneeb. Councillor Rhodes, question.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'm in agreement with this totally. It's just that, you know, we seem to be entering into an area where we can expect great changes, and both in technical improvements and all sorts of things that we can use. With this climate change policy, I think that it's important that it is a policy that is a living policy, so that we can continually refer back to it and make sure that we're up to date with latest facts, figures and information. Is there some way that can be written into the recommendation?
I'll pass that to the CEO.
Yes. Look, that is exactly what will occur. This will continually be reviewed. It's an ever-growing policy, if I can use that expression. It's an ever-growing policy with consultation to the community. If you have a look at page 184, next steps, once climate change policy and Liverpool Climate Action Plan are endorsed, Council proposes to collaborate with the community for engagement and delivery of the Climate Action Plan. It's going to require continual changes. The greatest reason for the change will be the continual improvement, as you indicated, Councillor, in various IT, various deliveries, you know, going again into various aspects, battery-operated, electric-operated vehicles, etc. All of this will have a very big impact on the policy, but it's all part of the policy.
Thank you, and we'll be constantly changing, so when things do change, we don't have to wait until the next year before we can actually bring up comments or make motions that will be added to this. Thank you.
The current Acting Director of Operations is well aware of the fact that this needs to be reviewed. When we finish the advertising and we have a permanent Director of Operations, it'll be very much in the forefront of what needs to occur continually, as with many other policies of Council that we're reviewing.
Thank you. Happy with that.
Thank you. Councillor McNaught.
Yeah, I just had a question along the same lines as Councillor Rhodes. The payback period for electric vehicles is quite long compared to other initiatives, and I just wanted to make sure that we would be on top of those contracts to make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck that we can all the time as those costs maybe decrease.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. No, thank you. All right, no further discussion. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried.
Sorry, just on the last motion, can I just thank staff for all of their work on the policy, because it has been a long time coming to council, and obviously for their hard work going forward, because it is a fast changing space.
Thank you, Councillor. That'll be noted in the minutes and it'll be expressed to the staff. The fact you raised it, they now know about it, which is great. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is committee reports.
Yes, I need to pull two committees out of
We'll just go one by one. So committee 01, crime health, crime page 168.
Yes.
CTTE 01.
Yes, Mr Mayor, you'll find in the minutes there that it's actually written that Councillor Rhodes will move motions that was indicated during that meeting. The first motion that they wished me to move was that Council initiate uniform 9 a.m. opening time of all park toilet facilities in the Liverpool LGA. In winter, we dropped that opening time back to 11 a.m. and we've got issues that was raised by the bus community in the Safety and Crime Prevention Advisory Committee, saying that they actually utilise those facilities, and when it's just too long at 11 a.m. in winter, and they've asked if it is possible for those toilets to be opened up at 9 a.m, keep it consistent. The community learns then that they're going to be opened up. The other matter was that people are often exercising. They don't stop during winter, and they're also used by those people as well. So the motion was that Council initiate uniform 9 a.m. opening time of all park toilet facilities in the Liverpool LGA.
Yep. Go seconder. Councillor Green, any discussion?
So just to clarify, is this as opposed to what's in the minutes in terms of the winter opening hours? Yeah. So just moving that back to 9 a.m? Okay,
that's right.
Thanks.
Cool. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? I declare carried. Next item is committee 02.
No, the second motion, there was two motions they wished me to raise. The second motion was to ask that Council consider installation of CCTV cameras at all water parks throughout the LGA, and bring back, perhaps to the April Council meeting, a report outlining the practicality and costs of doing that. So the motion...
Did you say the April meeting?
Yeah, April, if that's possible.
Yeah, probably May is better, if you can, because it only gives them 2 weeks in reality.
The May meeting then, fine.
Yep, cool. So May meeting.
Is there a rationale for it? Do we understand the context is all of my question.
The police actually asked for this. Okay, they just have concerns that it is an area that does need extra surveillance, and the police felt that it would be wise, if it was possible, for Council to install CCTV cameras in the areas of our water parks.
Great. Yeah, wonderful.
So can I just again clarify, is that just Biggie Park? Is there existing CCTV coverage at both Wendon and the Whitlam Centre, or...?
I think it's the water play parks.
Yeah, so that's what I'm...
I mentioned saying Cirillo, Big Park.
Right, okay.
Those ones. Yeah, just a report. Yep. Cool.
Just
Separate to the aquatics.
Yes.
I know this is just asking for costs and feasibility, but I will remain consistent, and I have been a long time, I guess, pushed back on when cost shifting to local government has occurred. Just sort of want to flag that if the police are asking for this, could that not be seen as, I guess, cost shifting duties and costs onto local government?
I believe that it could be seen that way, but also there is a need for it, and Council does install CCTV cameras when there is a need from a society point of view. Now, there is a need to protect our people, particularly our most vulnerable people in our society. This is asking for a cost and practicality. It's a report, Councillor. Let's listen to the advice.
All right, and that can be covered in the report when it comes back. Right, all right, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? I declare that carried.
Yes, we're going through them
Sorry,
one by one.
Youth Council. Now, on Youth Council Committee, 192, Committee 02. Moved.
Happy to move that way.
Moved, Councillor McNaught, seconded. Councillor Moon, any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Great. Next item is Committee 03, page 205.
And this particular one on page 206, the request about the signage welcoming people to the Aboriginal lands. If we could get some further advice on that. We know that we also have the Tharawal people that have access to Liverpool. It's just, if we're going to put up these signs, they need to be accurate of the people, of the Aboriginal cultures that do claim to own the land that that Liverpool is on. We just need to know, we talk about the Cabral people of the Darug Nation, but we know there are other Aboriginal cultures that are also engaged in the Liverpool LGA. So I'm not saying I just need extra information to know that we're covering all our bases and where these signs are going to go, so it makes some sort of sense.
Yep.
So it's asking for more information.
Councillor Green.
I'd like to give some clarification there, because this is also a conversation that has occurred at the Aboriginal Consultative Committee, and they certainly are very conscious of, in terms of where the Cabral clan's lands are and Tharawal. So these they've provided advice, and maybe the Director of Community and Culture might like to take that in terms of where the two spots where they would like those signs to be put. But all that issue was discussed and canvassed very thoroughly at the Aboriginal Consultative Committee meeting.
So okay, thank you that it was discussed.
So, yep. So I just need a seconder for the motion. Sorry, Councillor Rhodes, seconded Councillor Haggerty. Yep.
We're just asking for more information.
You might want to see
Tell
what
us how it's
she's.
working.
Yeah. So what are you saying that we? What do they call it? That we get.
We're requesting further advice regarding the signage for the welcome sign.
Yeah, and bring it. I think saying bring it back to council.
And bring it back to
So I think the
council.
first line is remove the first line.
Yep. It's being deferred.
Yeah, so it would actually say defer subject to what they call it, their advice coming back to council.
Yep, that's it.
Cool.
If we're going to do that, then I would like it minuted that expressing my disappointment that council has been in an inability to take the advice of the Aboriginal Consultative Committee.
So, Mayor,
Deputy Mayor, yes.
yeah, well, look, it's my understanding that is not the case. The case is, what you're saying here is only one clan of the Aboriginal communities. There is too many of them. So why we have to mention only one clan and disregard the others? So if you are able now, my colleagues, if you are able to tell us how many clans and recognize all of them, I'm quite happy to move it right now. Right now. So if only, why only the Cabral? What about the others? Within Liverpool LGA. It's too many of them. I'm quite happy to support it. Give me all the name to recognize all of them. Secondly, there is some wording here. Please walk respectfully on this land. So why don't we walk with respect to the others? This is one. So why only on this land or the other land? Why we should not walk with respect on the others? Some wording has to be changed. Look, I'm not quite happy with it. It is an insult for us to say please walk with respect on this land. So all land, we should walk on all land with respect. Okay? So that's all. And if you can give me all the clan names now to be recognized within Liverpool local government, I'm quite happy to support it and get my colleagues to pass it right on. But only one clan? What about the others? It makes some, create some issues. That
As
is
I
my
have
concern.
said, Deputy Mayor, that this issue.
Excuse me,
was-
Councillor Green. Councillor Canleander has her
Oh,
hand up,
sorry.
please.
I'm happy for Councillor Green to go first.
Yeah, and sorry, can I just say, Councillor Green, that by asking for this matter to be deferred just so people can get more information, I think that's I don't know what you're expecting. That we just approve every minute, and you know what I mean, the council, no one has voted against it. Everyone's just saying wants some more information. To sit there and say, "Oh, councillors, you're disappointed that you're not approving it," we're just saying defer it. Like, I think it's a bit, escalating it. Let's see what comes back and go from there. Any
So-
further?
Yes, my point was on sort of the nature of this discussion in the context of the role of the Aboriginal Consultative Committee. The committee exists as a consultative body, as a way of, us addressing the lack of experience and lived experience in terms of, First Nations understanding in this forum. And so how we can ensure that members of the Aboriginal Consultative Committee are not, don't see this discussion and then kind of go, well, we put forward recommendations or we put forward, our views and they're just disregarded by council. So in my view,
Once again, I don't think no one's disregarding them. They're just saying, well, there's another land council, there's a thorough wall. How does that come into it? And I think it's not covered in the context of this information.
sure.
So I don't think, once again, I think they're just deferring it to get the more
And I'm
information.
highlighting
which happens numerous times.
I'm highlighting a sort of a concern in the wake of this discussion,
Yeah.
right? Because we want to make sure that the consultative committee, which is an official committee of council and which has, has that responsibility, is not made to, made to seem like just something that is not respected in the context of how it feeds into the decisions of council.
Are you saying that we should approve blindly the minutes of every committee meeting?
Well, I think you're mischaracterising what I'm saying. I'm highlighting that is a potential outcome of this discussion, and we need to be very careful in terms of how we engage with the committee.
I don't see how it's different than Councillor Haggerty asking for the mayoral minute to be deferred so he can get the information about that. Like 40%, 49% of Liverpool is Christian, and there's been outrage in the whole community over these terrible.
Mayor, I'm not.
Sorry.
I'm not
Councillors have
engaging
had 2 weeks' notice to check up on this. I had 5 seconds' notice to check up on your mayoral minute.
Everyone, it's been outraged all over the media for numerous days. There's protests about it.
It's not on the agenda. So if you want to put things on the agenda next time, I'll have time to do a bit of research on it. As councillors have had in relation to this, they could have looked at the video of the meeting. They could have spoken to committee members or people involved in that committee to get a bit more information.
All due respect, councillor, you've got a 1,000-page agenda. You mean, and you know what I mean. So if you guys say no, we should not defer anything anymore. Everyone's got to be prepared, because that's what I'm being heard, and people putting it on other people because, oh no, we want to defer this, and how dare you defer this to get more information.
I think this is.
Councillor McNaught.
I just wanted to say, I mean no disrespect, and I agree with what's being asked for, this extra information, and by no means is there any disrespect in what I would like to bring brought to us. I just want to make sure that before we make a decision, are satisfied that we are making that right decision. We're absolutely taking on board what the consultative committee has said. However, I need to be clear on why we might not be including those other nations in our acknowledgement, and I want to make sure we do that. And if that's a short deferral, I'd be happier to make sure that we've covered everything well than not doing that. And I mean no disrespect by that at all.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I totally agree with what was just said, that this is not to be seen as any form of disrespect. As a matter of fact, it is a sign of respect. We don't understand that we know that there are other Aboriginal communities that are in Liverpool.
Sorry, Councillor Haggerty. I'm calling a point of order on that. Like, we are the decision making who have been elected by the people of Liverpool to make decision on their behalf. Committees provide advice to it. Not all council has asked for a deferral to get further information, and all of a sudden everyone's being guilted into how dare you not accept this. Sorry, it's inappropriate. I'm going to put the matter to council now. We've had enough debate about it. The matter. Sorry, Councillor, I'm putting the matter. We're deferring it.
Speaker, it's my
Right,
motion.
we can have this debate next month when the information comes back to us. All those in favour, please raise your hands for the deferral. Against, declare it carried. Next item is Committee 04, page 213.
Happy to move that way.
Move Councillor Rhodes, seconded. Councillor Moon, any discussion? I'll put it. All those in favour? Against, I declare it carried. Questions with notice? Councillor Howell?
Yes, look, I'm happy with that. I just have a question, and the question is, does this report on consultants, is that...
Sorry,
part
can you adjust your microphone, please, so we can...
Sorry, can you hear that? That's better? I can hear myself now too. On this consultancy, is the consultancy report part of our annual report, or do we have to ask for this every year?
The question is whether the cost of consultants is provided as an annual report, or is this something that councils have to actually ask for?
I'll ask the acting director.
I'm not certain, councillors. I know that we have to show our legal expenses, and there are some other specific costs that we have to show in the annual report. Off memory, I just can't say if it's all consultants.
Take it on notice.
Take it on notice, yeah.
Well, what I was going to suggest, that if it's not, that this report be, my questions with notice, be put up as part of a report sometime during the year.
So,
looking through that, there are quite some significant spendings in consultancies. For instance, there's one there round about... Confidential. Yes, I know that, but I can say, without naming the actual consultants, I don't intend to do that. But what I'm saying is there are expenditures there. One item on its own is $400,000. I would like more information on that, just what does it entail. And if we've got an annual report that says there's simply X amount of dollars, rather than elaborating on that, I would like to see that elaborated on if that's possible. Thank you.
Let me take that on notice and come back.
yeah, we'll confirm that. But yeah, that can be done easily, I'm sure. Councillor Green? Question with notice 02. Sorry, can you put your microphone on, please?
Yes, thank you for the information. I'm now very clear and confident in what happens and how we are managing Cumberland Plain Woodland. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, Councillor Green, question with notice 03.
Thank you very much.
All good. Councillor Calienda, did you want to just a moment while Councillor Green leaves the room? Yes, Councillor Calienda.
Thanks, Mayor. I note that the response from council officers identify that a site needs to be identified prior to the first tranche of funding on the 27th of April. This will be the last council meeting before that can occur, and it sort of at the end of the report it says that directions required from council to determine if we'll enter in directly into an MOU. So can I move that we that council consider entering into an MOU for long-term lease at that site as per the report?
So you don't want to go to an EOI?
Sorry?
You don't want to go to an EOI? What's your... Pardon? So what's your motion, if you can just write?
Can I just get an understanding of like how that will affect timeframes? Because I understand that the EOIs for the first tranche has to be in by the 27th of April. But if we go to an EOI process, and then it has to go to the EOI process for the funding, that will just blow up that deadline.
Well,
Could I refer to the Director, Mrs Tina Bono?
Thank you. Through the CEO, this matter has been really dealt with by property. I understand that an EOI went out from the report. An EOI had went out on this the preferred property previously. So I believe that we would have to go do an EOI to be fair and transparent. I know they can be done quite quickly, but I might refer it over to Farouk Property Services. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, the Acting Director.
I'd have to take that on notice.
But my understanding, short understanding, and I'll take it on notice, is that we really would have to go with an EOI. But let me take it on notice as to how long, siege, etc., and come back to you.
I am just concerned because this is our last full council meeting before the 27th of April, and therefore we need to kind of obviously make tracks in terms of a decision. Can I move that we go to an EOI with information to come about the time frame, with a view to making a decision well before the 27th of April? So
what's the EOI for?
Sorry?
What's the EOI for?
The EOI would be to enter into the long-term lease at 75 to 77 Hill Road Linear.
And what's your definition of a long-term lease?
Can I get some assistance from...
Sorry, Councillor, maybe I've misunderstood you. I thought what you're saying is not to have an EOI, but simply proceed with one party. You're now moving to have an EOI, because according to it, it's saying you want an EOI.
I think we're at cross purposes.
Yeah, I just want to know, I mean, they're two completely different things. I just want to know which one you're actually asking me to look at.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Look, my understanding was that your recommendation was to go to an EOI. Well, the recommendation of council officers was to go to an EOI. Yeah, but then my concern is that by the time we go to go through an EOI process, then that deadline, which is set by a different body, which is the 27th of April, will have passed. Regardless of how quick an EOI process is, right. I don't think we can meet sort of like a 4-week deadline.
As I said, let me take it on notice. What I will do, and it'll be noted, I have an ELT meeting first thing tomorrow morning. I will immediately commence looking at this to see what is in accordance with all the probity rules that I've got to adhere to and governance rules I have to adhere to see how quickly we can look at this, how quickly we can call for an EOI, how quickly we can determine who's going to apply for it, and we'll look at it from that perspective.
And can I also get some information on similar agreements or similar, other situations where councils may have entered into an agreement with a local provider, in terms of a long-term lease of land for, say, a refuge purpose?
So that I understand what you're asking is you want to know what agreements currently exist with similar providers and that have been entered into?
Under the... what's it called, the cluster and core scheme?
Under the
core and cluster scheme, sorry, which is the scheme introduced by the New South Wales government to develop refuges for women and children in southwest Sydney, well, across the board, but
all right, that's been noted by my two directors. We'll raise that at ELT tomorrow. They'll confirm it with me, and I'll get onto it straight away.
So are you envisioning that they're going to use existing buildings or knock down and build something there? Knock down and build. So like a land lease.
All right.
Does that... there was a lot of other options for this particular land that, some of them I was a little bit partial towards. We do still not have an animal shelter. And at the time, this was considered that it possibly could be sold and those funds go towards providing an animal shelter. So I'm open to council looking at everything, but I think that council should be looking at all options that are available to us for that land.
That's what we have to do. Okay.
So just to go back to the Mayor's previous question, the response from staff in the response to the question with notice suggests that the comparable.
Sorry,
Hi.
Councillor, which page?
On page 232, so the comparable option in terms of what Bunnies already has with Fairfield LGA would be a 25 to 50 year lease.
Yes. This is where the Fairfield LGA looked at a 25 to 50 year lease. Understand that the rules for leases have changed enormously. Leases beyond 21 years have become almost non-existent. So looking at what leases were granted by council, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 99-year leases, they don't seem to exist anymore. The tender process's probity really does put almost a 21-year, but we'll look at all of that. I'm well aware of the rules in relation to that.
And just in terms of expecting a response from those discussions, when would you estimate we would hear back? Not to put pressure on you.
Yeah, look, I mean, it'll definitely be brought back at the next council meeting, but if I have some information for you that's concrete information before then, I will send it to all councillors before then.
In summary, there's no way to run a proper EOI process that meets all the probity requirements by the 27th of April. Yeah, that's a reality. No. By the time the draft terms are put out there, that will take a couple of weeks. By the time it runs a proper EOI process, by the time they're scored,
yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. What I'm proposing to come back with you is what will be the steps, not the actual completed process. But and I think that's what you're asking for, Councillor. You want to know what the steps will be. I will come back to you with that.
And obviously also comparable steps, of similar.
The more difficult you make it, the longer it's going to take me to come back to you. If I'm going to go out and check every council, it's going to take a lot longer.
I understand, but I imagine comparable councils would be sort of those in Southwest Sydney, growth councils, that sort of thing, so that we have a reference point.
Understand.
Are we going to do something for the men escaping domestic violence as well?
Sorry.
Because the figures it show almost 50-50. Not only women and children, and men as well. You go and walk in the mall, you will see the women hitting the men in the street.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Are you moving a motion, Councillor Calienda? Are you moving a motion?
Does a request for further information require a motion? No.
Just further questions onto your questions.
I took it as a question on notice.
Thank you. All right. We'll now move on to the confidential booklet.
Have a break now.
Confidential items, unless we need to move a confidential. Oh, sorry, Councillor Green. Sorry, Councillor Green. We've got to.
Mr. Mayor, booklets will be numbered in future, so you can say booklet 3, booklet 4, booklet 5. So if you want to.
Thank you. So Conf 01 in the confidential booklet.
Happy to move that way.
Move Councillor Rhodes, seconded.
Happy to second.
Councillor McNaught, any discussion? Put the motion, all those in favour? Against, I declare it carried. Conf 02, page 793. 790 with the recommendation on 794.
Happy to move that way.
Moved Councillor Rhodes. I'm happy to second it. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Conf 03, page 798. Recommendation on page 799. Moved Councillor Green, seconded Councillor Harrell. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Conf 04. I'd like to move a motion on this one. Once again, I'll keep it general. I think we're a very diverse community, and I'm just going through the names of the panel members, and it doesn't seem to reflect our community, and I think that we should go back out there and get some other names.
I actually made the same point when we were meeting.
Seconded Councillor Haggerty, thirded Councillor Caliendo.
Just an additional point, is one of the criteria the fact that they actually live in Western Sydney or live in the area?
Well, can we make that?
Desirable.
Demonstrated connection to the area, an understanding of the area. Yep. Great. So we move that we deferred until we get some new.
Out of interest, is this sort of a result of where we are sort of publishing these advertisements or whatever, and is it possible maybe to kind of look at how we are, how we're expanding it? Because, if you just do the same thing, you're going to get the same people who come through. So maybe looking at how we put it out there and how we encourage people from diverse backgrounds and with a connection to the area to put their hand up.
Thank you, Councillor.
Where is it advertised?
We continue to look at more avenues to be able to publish the information. The issue always is who applies. We can only choose from who applies. In some cases, if one person only applies, it limits our situation. I'll have a very good look at and come back to you, because the item's now being deferred. Again, we'll raise it at ELT tomorrow. We'll have a look at where we're publishing. Are there more areas to publish? How can we publish? Are we able to attract? We still need to tick two boxes, which is the number one criteria. Number one, can they do the job? Number two, are they prepared to do the job? They're the two criteria that I must satisfy. Now, if we can get all the other boxes ticked, that's wonderful, but I need those two satisfied first. Right, so we'll come back to that. Leader, we'll come back to it.
Question.
Yes, Councillor Harrell.
Looking at the list, this appears to not have community members.
I can't hear him.
So this is only for the experts on the panel, not the community members.
Correct.
Is that correct?
This is only for the experts.
Good, thank you.
This is why I was saying earlier that I need them to be able to do the job, as simple as that, and prepared to do the job as experts.
Not a problem. I'm just concerned that I know on that panel we have community members.
We do.
And they weren't here, and I thought, hello.
Yes, no, we do have community. This is for the experts. These are the, we're talking lawyers, we're talking planners, we're talking architects. This is what we're talking. But
Can I just ask a question?
We'll come back to you.
Councillor McNaught.
Yes, sorry. I just understood that this was a directive that we had to increase the number of people on the panel. Are we under any time constraints to get those positions filled, or it's fairly open-ended? I'm sorry, I can't recall from the report.
Well, I think it's saying the 24th of April. But I think it's going, I think we can go to the department and speak to them and say, well...
Perfect, I just didn't want to be in breach of anything. That's good, that's good.
Yeah, great.
Mr Mayor, through you, if I may, what we'll also do is, these are additional, what we will do, and we should have probably looked at, is maybe give you the entire list of those that exist plus the additional, to give you more of an understanding of who's will be on it. Okay, really looking for it. Okay.
Great, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? I declare it carried. Next is
page 809.
Conf 05, page 809.
Happy to move that way.
Move Councillor Rhodes, seconded Councillor Harrell. Any discussion?
Yeah, just a question in relation to this. Once we do go through with what's being proposed, are we able to sort of speed things up and demolish and cut the grass and just have a bit of green space for people to kick a ball around in Austral. Take it offline. I'll have a chat to Tina, I think it is.
Jason, I think.
Can't hear him.
I'm sure they'll work on just saying whether we can speed up putting some green space there.
Yes. I'm sure the acting director has heard that and we'll go from there. He's nodding.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Great. Okay, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? I declare it carried.
814.
Next item is Conf 06.
I'll move that way.
Moved Councillor Calianda, seconded Councillor Green. Any discussion?
I have the same question. Will we be getting another deed of agreement between the other Aboriginal cultures that are within the Liverpool LGA?
Yes. I'll ask the director, Ms. Tina Bono, she's aware of that and she'll respond.
Thank you. Through the CEO, we are having discussions with our Rural Council. Currently, they are aware about the agreement with Gandangara, and there is a third land council, which is very small, and we don't have much interaction at this point because of where they sit in our strategic planning and the like. But we are having discussions with the other land councils, and would be happy to enter in a similar agreement.
Excellent. And I note in the agreement they are forming a working committee, which is great. Will that does that working committee report to the governance committee?
Thank you. Through the CEO, that's an internal working group that works through all the various commitments that we are working with with the Land Council. We can report it back through the Governance Committee through the strategic projects in terms of any challenges or any discussions that come out of that meeting. So yes, to answer, long and short, yes, we can.
Excellent.
Sorry, we had a little sidebar. My apologies.
You missed everything I said. Don't worry about it. It's all been sorted.
Fantastic. Right. Any discussion? Put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it unanimous. Right. And last but not least is the confidential Conf 07 in the confidential addendum booklet, aka booklet number 3.
Move it.
Moved. Deputy Mayor, seconded.
I'll second it.
Councillor Moon, any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? I declare that carried. We'll now have a...
10-minute break.
No. You've watched it? Sorted? You read it? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So I'll now resubmit the mayoral minute. All those in favour, please raise your hands. Against? I declare it unanimous. Well, that being said, I now declare the meeting officially closed. Thank you, everybody.